All right, guys, we've been in the church for about a month now. Let's discuss how we feel about it. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your favorite mask collector's favorite mask collector, AJ Good, here at the new House of Masks, and we've been here for about a month. Probably longer than a month, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say that it was a month. Why? Because it's my show.
And not yours.
So yeah, now that we have been in the church for at least a month straight, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys my thoughts, kind of tell you guys what I have learned, what I have noticed, what I've gone through, just my general thoughts on being in the church for at least a month now. So, I got a church, and here's what I've learned so far. 1. Country living is awesome. This is a peace that I have never felt before in my life. As a city kid who was forced to live in the country during my early teen years, I absolutely hated being isolated and being out in the country away from all my friends with no cell phone service and nothing to really do. Even though we definitely had stuff to do, I just didn't care about that stuff. I didn't care about going on hikes or going and playing in the creek or going fishing. I just wanted to be in town skateboarding with my friends because that is where my life was. But now I truly appreciate being in the middle of nowhere. I absolutely love being out here, and again, it has given me a sense of peace that I have never ever felt in my life, and I mean that on just about every level that it could possibly be. I mean, this is my view at any given point. How could I not love this? Initially, I was definitely not very stoked about not being in town anymore, specifically downtown Chillicothe. I'd kind of made my mark there and really fell into a groove where I was quite happy being downtown Chillicothe. I was literally on Main Street, and I was right in the heart of the main drag. I was a part of everything that happened there because I was right there in the thick of it, and I really, really liked that. But being out here in the country has gotten me on such a different wavelength that it's almost hard to even begin explaining what I mean by that. For instance, I was really conveniently always around food in town, so I was just eating and eating and eating and spending crazy amounts of money to eat out or have it door dashed or picking up pizzas constantly or whatever it was because it was so convenient and everything was right there. Well, being out here in the middle of nowhere, about 30 minutes away from the original House of Masks building, I don't have that option. There is nothing out here. In fact, the closest restaurant that you'll get is about 10 minutes that way, and you can only take so much of the same restaurant. So I actually do feel better about my eating habits because I am not constantly eating out, giggity, and I'm also not constantly spending that money. Now, I've definitely noticed a difference in my own physicality. Like, I'm definitely losing weight that I was keeping because I was just eating all the time in town, and out here, I don't have that option. And my wallet is happy. Now I can buy Jeff Gordon scores that I'm not shitting out the next morning rather than a pizza or a sandwich or a whatever it was. I was just constantly eating, and that is one of the things that definitely changed when I came out here. Now, another thing that changed and kind of gives me a sense of peace is how peaceful it is out here. The old building was almost like a dungeon. There were no windows. I would sleep in until 2 in the evening and just wake up feeling like absolute garbage. I would just sleep for the sake of sleeping. I felt like it was easy, like it was super, super dark. It made me feel more tired, so I would essentially force myself to sleep until the early afternoon, and then I would wake up undoubtedly with a headache every single time, and my body would hurt, and my neck was stiff, and everything just sucked. I was depressed. I was in a bad mood. I didn't have a schedule that I needed to get to. But now, out here, everything is the polar opposite. And when I choose to stay out here, I have purposely not put up any curtains over on the studio side because it's super, super nice to just wake up naturally to the sun rising, and then you open the door and a breeze blows in and you can hear the chickens and the goats outside. It's really, really awesome. I wake up at like 8 o'clock every morning just ready to go, and I have woken up with maybe 2 or 3 headaches when I've chosen to stay out here, which is pretty unbelievable for me. Now, something else that I've noticed since leaving Chillicothe is that the people that matter will be the people that show up, and that has definitely rung very, very true throughout this entire move, to be honest. But it really rang true once the move was over and I was finally just here, and I had no reason to go back to Chillicothe. I was really worried that I was going to lose a large chunk of my friend group because it was so easy to just drive 5 minutes to my building in town to hang out, and it was so easy to get together or to go to a restaurant that evening or whatever it was, because my building was essentially like the central hub of the friend group. It was just easy for everyone to meet there. I was right in the middle. But since moving out here, nothing has really changed, man. My friends really make a solid effort to come out and hang out. And that's everybody from Amber and Crystal and Ben to Bishop, who lives in a completely different city and is on the polar opposite of where we are. Like, he's pretty much as far south as you could possibly get for us to still be close, and he drives all the way up here north to come hang out once a week on Sundays, and I absolutely love that. So, shout out to those people. Thank you guys very much. I love you a lot. And I was pleasantly surprised when people continued to want to come out here to hang out with me. It means a lot. Now, something else about being in this neck of the woods that I was pretty worried about when I first got the keys to this place and we made our first few trips out here to start the move itself was the neighbors. I thought for sure that they would see me and just absolutely hate anything that had to do with me. I thought that they were definitely going to judge me by the way that I looked and probably find out who I was and what I did and not be very stoked about what was happening inside of this church that was very beloved by this little community. But I've got to say, the people here have been awesome. There's been one weird dude who I just can't figure out. I don't know if it's like mental illness or if it's some sort of drug use thing, but he's not even necessarily concerned with what I'm doing here or how I look. He's just been weird about the dirt bikes, and that is what it is. I mean, it's the county, so dirt bikes are gonna dirt bike, and there's nothing I can really do about that, and I think that he's gonna be very upset once we get that pit bike track going in the backyard. But it's the county, man. Like, one of the reasons I'm out here is so I could do stuff like that. But anyways, everybody else has been absolutely awesome. I remember the first few like weekly Wednesday update videos I put out while being here at the church, I was getting comment after comment from these new random usernames, and all of the comments were like, hey, I'm your neighbor 3 doors down, and hey, I'm your neighbor on the other side of the village, and we just really appreciate what you're doing over there. Like, thanks for getting the church and caring about it and wanting to take care of it and essentially saving it, because it was just sitting here rotting on the market. And I just thought that that was really cool. Like, I would definitely think that people out in the middle of the country in small town Ohio would not be stoked about somebody like myself coming in and doing something that may seem kind of edgy and dark and weird or whatever in their church, but everybody has been super nice. I even met a dude today who had to be in his 70s. He was just full-blown farmer, probably doesn't even own a cell phone, but he stopped by because he had some sort of ties to the stained glass window that's behind me. And I let him in, and we just sat there and talked, and he was super, super nice. And I even brought up the fact that I was like, dude, I know I look the way that I look, and all of this weird stuff is in here, but I promise that there is nothing sacrilegious or weird or cringy going on in the church, and that I am going to do my best to take care of it. And he said, hey, welcome to, and then he said the name of where we are, and I thought that that was really cool. So shout out to the neighborhood. There aren't a lot of people around me. As I mentioned, we are in the middle of the country, but the people that are around me are somewhat close, and I haven't wanted to upset any of them, and I'm glad that I haven't done that so far, and I'm going to do my best to continue to not do that, because they've kind of honestly welcomed me in with arms wide open, a little warmer of a welcome than I expected, and I think that's super cool. So yeah, dude, let's see what else. Oh, here's a good one. Speaking of neighbors and the neighborhood, don't show up at my door. Yes, I have had fans show up at the church already, and it never gets any less weird. Don't do that. I have mentioned many, many times in these videos and on Instagram and on Facebook that the church is not open to the public. Do not come here. It's also weird that you're like calling yourself a fan, and then the first thing you say is, "Are you AJ?" And then you sit there and shake all nervous with your hands in your pockets. Like, what if I think that you are about to shoot me? What if I think that you have a gun in your pocket, and that's why your hand's in there, and that's why you're verifying that I'm AJ, even though if you're a fan, you should know who I am, and that's why you're shaking. It will not be a good interaction if you show up here, and I know that nothing is a secret. My addresses have never been a secret on the internet. Everybody has known where I lived, whether it be the house over on Irvin, whether it be the old building, whether it be the salon, whatever it is. The church is obviously no different. People are going to know where the church is, but hey, don't be a fucking weirdo, because I promise I will not be nice to you, and I don't want to do that. Just don't show up to my building. There are no trespassing signs littered everywhere around this place, and they specifically say that if you are not invited here, you are not welcome here, and to get the fuck off of the property. So, don't show up at my house. I don't want to kill you, but I will, and I mean it. It's super, super fucking inappropriate. It makes me uncomfortable, and I will absolutely defend myself however I see fit, okay?
Where a homeowner in his front yard shot and killed a man last night.
All right, let's move on to a lighter topic. I want to say that I've realized that my parents fucking rule. My mom and dad both have helped immensely with this move. My mom has been there for me in ways that other people can't, and I don't mean that in a sexual way, you fucking weirdos. And my dad has just been an absolute bull. He probably did 100 trips back and forth during the month-long move, and then he just didn't stop. He was just at it all day, every day, painting whatever needed painted, moving shit out that needed to get out of here. There was just all sorts of stuff that needed done, and my dad tackled it 1,000,000%. So shout out to my mom and dad specifically, and then shout out to everybody else that's been helping. Of course, Ben and Doug are both my right-hand mans when it comes to stuff like this. They are always helping. I literally couldn't make a list of all the stuff that they've done since we have been in the church, but they're absolutely killing it, and I definitely appreciate them. Shout out to my cousin Michael and my uncle Terry. They also came in clutch during the move, and they've also been helping since we've been in the church as well. So big shout out to everybody, the family, the friends. I appreciate you guys. I really, really appreciate you guys. Speaking of the move itself, I realized I have a lot of shit. I obviously knew that I had a lot of stuff before the move, but moving it just opened the floodgates for me to realize, holy shit, man, I have a lot of stuff. I don't even know how I've acquired all of this stuff, but I sure have, and man, moving a museum is no fucking joke, guys. So I don't even know what to say about that. I wish that I could make you guys understand how insane the move itself was, and I wish that I could make you guys understand how insane it still is, because we are maybe 25% unpacked here at the church, and I don't even want to think about just how many shelves still have to go up, how many boxes I still have just sitting around unpacked, all of Buckethead Land, all of the horror stuff, all of the Mudvayne stuff, all of Dino's mask shop, all of my random masks that don't really have anything to do with anything, pretty much all of my wrestling stuff, all of that is still in boxes right now. Right now! So it's just absolutely insane. I love my stuff, I really do, but man, that was quite the task. I hope I never ever have to move again. And because I've realized how much stuff I have, and because I've realized that I never ever want to move again, I've also realized that there is not enough room here still. We have almost doubled the square footage from the last place, and I still know right now that I don't have enough room to do everything that I want to do and house everything that I need to house. So there will definitely have to be an extension built on the opposite side of the church, the back side of the church, right off of the studio. There's like a kitchen door right off to the right side of the kitchen, and that will most certainly become something else in the future when I have a lot more money and can quite literally build a completely new building attached to this building. So yeah, I mean, maybe 3, 4, 5 years, I can start kind of figuring something out for that, because we are going to need it. And the last thing that I've realized, or at least the last thing that's on this list, it's fucking expensive, man. Moving is expensive, buying a place is expensive, and fixing things up is expensive, on top of regular life. I thought I was doing pretty well. I had the most money that I've ever had in my life last year before the move, and now I am pretty much right back to square one. So if you enjoy what the House of Masks is, what the House of Masks does, if you enjoy the content here, if you just like me as a person, or if you don't and you care about the community and you care about the hobby and you want to see things continue to get bigger and better for everybody, everyone from the artists that are making these amazing pieces to yourself as a collector and all the other collectors out there, if you want to keep seeing everything level up in a sense of content quality, in a sense of educational quality, in a sense of just cool stuff in the videos, if you want to see everything like the live events getting bigger and better, Pale Fest, all of the shows that we do in between, the Secret Santas, the Thanksgiving stuff, whatever it is, if you guys truly care about the community, then you have to understand that nobody is doing things for the hobby like the House of Masks. Nobody is elevating it. Nobody is bridging the gaps like we are here at the House of Masks. And for a measly $5 a month, not only will you be helping make all of that a reality and helping bring the community together and helping elevate the community to a crazy, crazy spot, but you'll also get all kinds of cool rewards. Even if you're only doing it for the greediest reasons, then that's the reason to do it, because my Patreon fucking slaps. It is the best Patreon that I've ever seen, and I can honestly say that unbiased because I am a patron of some of my favorite content creators, and it doesn't even come close. There is just absolutely no comparison. And I've said it a couple of times in the last few videos, 2025 is going to be the year of the patrons. I am going to be just absolutely rocking shit over on Patreon for you guys, specifically patron exclusive videos. I'm really excited to start cranking out some patron exclusive videos that will also be available for channel members. I just think that you guys get a little more bang for your buck over on Patreon because you get all of the regular Patreon rewards and you get the exclusive videos that I'm going to be releasing soon. Actually, I've already started releasing them, so we are about a week deep into that, and there are a lot more to come, which I am very, very excited about. So yeah, dude, go sign up for Patreon. I shouldn't even be having to sell this to you at this point, but if 10% of my subscribers here on YouTube signed up for Patreon, we would be looking at a completely different reality for the mask hobby. I promise.
I promise.
Okay, there you go. A month into the church. Those are my thoughts. That is how I feel. Those are the things that I have realized. And I think that that is going to just about do it for this video. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you do want to go sign up for Patreon, I will be linking that down below in the description of the video as well as the pinned comment. And before we go, I want to give one very, very special thank you to Ben over at Ben's Appliances and Junk. He is a fellow YouTuber with a massive, massive channel, especially in comparison to mine. And you guys wouldn't believe it, but he does like reviews and tutorials on appliances and stuff, and it's really weird, and you're probably wondering why I am shouting a random used appliance YouTube channel out, and that is because he was the previous owner of this building. I didn't want to say anything publicly until he and I kind of established a relationship and I was actually set in stone here at the church. But man, he has just been so, so cool throughout this entire experience, and I am extremely new and green when it comes to anything like this. This is definitely the biggest thing I've ever done in my life, the biggest commitment I've ever made, and the most adult thing that I've ever done is to purchase a church. But Ben was the owner, and he is just absolutely awesome. I can't praise him enough. He has really, really helped me out, and I just hope that we continue to have a great relationship for the foreseeable future, well, for the whole future. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I just wanted to thank Ben because I never kind of thanked him publicly, and I want to make it known that he is the reason that the House of Masks was able to survive and was able to get this place, and he was pretty adamant about me getting it as well. So I just really, really want to say thanks for just taking care of me and helping make this a reality. So shout out to Ben. That's the end of the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye forever.